That's number one. Because the prosecutor's job is to bring the case for the state. You always address him, even though the judge is going to try to take jurisdiction, which means he's witnessing. And if the judge starts talking back, oh, excuse me, you can get that off there, swear in the witnesses. You want to witness. Other than that, you can remain the referee now. What you want to do? You know, that's how you want to disrobe a judge. You need, if you know what everybody's job is, this is why we're teaching you what the job is to empower you. That a lot of these other things that you think people be telling you that you need to do, you don't know. You need to exercise your birthright. That already exists with you, but you got to know it's exercised. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Huh? So we're trying to get your concepts correct, so that when you get information, whether you get information from us or if you get information from European freedmen, that you can take their information, clean it up, and put it in your status. But you can't take it like it is because you got two different statuses. They're naturalized, you're nationalized. That's two different statuses. They're juristic and alien. You're indigenous and you are your mother's child. You're the real infant heir. They just arguing over your estate, that's all. You're not the sovereigns. So when they be talking sovereignty, they're just arguing over what they stole from you with each other. Don't get this twisted. That's why you can't use Europeans' freedmen's information just as you find it. All right, excuse me, what is this?
I wanted to ask you, in law, could you explain how it's possible to demand and request?
Demand and request, because that's presenting a request is in its nature a demand. A request is a demand, but you demand and request. In other words, you're being rational. You're not saying you're going to give me my shit. Can I have my stuff?
No, they're saying
Give me my
you
stuff.
request in 30 days to get out. Meaning after 31 days you come to put you out.
Yeah. See, what that does, that locks up that action. See, because remember, when they call you into their venue, actually their decisions are already made. They're just putting you through the motions to make it look like you're going through some legal process. You understand? But Chuck E. Cheese was always at your back door already. Hiding behind the bushes. I don't even back up this week. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now, what this does, this throws a print in the gears. Legally. Its very existence throws a print in the gears. That's why everything that you put in, you also mark it evidence. And then put the case number on it too.
So in other words, they could not say, like, just being facetious, they would say, you can't demand and request this at the same time.
Why are they saying that? Why would they say that?
Because
No, they're assuming authority. They're assuming authority. And then you can say to them, oh, excuse me, foreigner, you can't speak for me. At what point did you think that I hired you as power of attorney? No, don't get this twisted. What is that?
That means a European that's alien to this land has no defense for their being.
That's why when people, and this is for everyone, do your research. Go look up the United States, and you'll find that it's a corporation registered in Delaware, and it's a religious corporation, 501c3. Excuse me, I got to clear my throat. 501c3 in Delaware. It's a religious organization, not the land. Not the land.
So we must produce the following documents with all related and associated instruments. Produce all bookkeeping journal entries associated with the loan to the borrower. Produce the deed of trust associated with the loan to the borrower. Produce the insurance policy in place on the borrower's promissory note associated with the loan. Produce all call reports and related notes made for the period covering the loan. Produce the deposit slip for the deposit of the borrower's promissory note associated with the loan. Produce the original order authorizing the withdrawal of funds from the borrower's promissory note's deposit account. Produce the account number from which the money came to fund the check given to the borrower. Produce Produce verification that the borrower's promissory note was a gift to the lender from the borrower. Produce the name and the address of the current holder of the borrower's promissory note. Produce the name and address of the lender's CPA and auditor for the period covering the execution. Okay, in conclusion, this writ is the borrower's honorable and good faith intent to clear up any my tongue is not going here. Misrepresentation or confusion concerning resolutions in this matter before taking any further action. I am prepared to meet with you or your authorized representative forthwith. I will have counsel and witness present for the record. A failure of your company or loan officer, the aforementioned entity representative, to respond to this lawful request within the allotted 20 days of receipt of this writ in the nature of discovery will be considered as an affirmation.
And then you have the sign I am, name, natural person, and broker sign, authorized representative. This is so because anything that you put on paper in this nature becomes a straw. So now you're an authorized representative, and then they can't say they represent you. They can't impose representation for you because you're already represented and presented. You're the authorized representative, aren't you?
Of course. Would you put your...
You can do the, know what I'm saying, that's why I was saying qualifying at the beginning, because you can alter this to your understanding. You can even add or subtract, cut and paste. This is designed to lock in concept. This is to do the job and to teach you at the same time. Which means you don't have to use it as it is, you can alter it. But it's done like this to make sure that you kind of understand why it's done. Now, what happens is, since they say you owe, right? And since all they did was do bookkeeping, there is no account from which they drew on the check. So they can't produce it. Now, in law, since they can't produce the transaction, there is no consideration of substance for them to bring before the court to bring the claim for your failure to pay, because it didn't exist. So they're not going to produce that, so they fail already. They're not going to bring all the notes of record, because then they have to bring out the other surety holders that's probably in India somewhere. But you've been paying them. Well, how come you paying them when they're not the mortgage holder? Because within 3 hours or 3 days they had already sold it.
Yes.
Hold on. Then if they produce it, you're going to see all these rows of signatures that is really on the stock market. And then you know why after a couple of years the mortgage keeps going up, because you're paying all these people. You were never designed to pay this thing off. So therefore it's a misrepresentation, it's a fraud. And if they produce the record can be used against them. Now you don't even need this.
Right.
You can use their own stuff. We ain't even through it yet. We just down a couple of them. To be serious. Yeah, in your proper name, you're a proper name, they can't speak with you. Well, Judge, you know, can't speak with you, need counsel. No, I'm counsel, you know the difference. Now listen. No. What you're asking is, remember we went earlier and dealt with explanation? So you can say, you're free national, ex-rel, the entity, because you can speak for it, because you have an interest in it, you're a relator. That's why I gave that to you earlier so you can understand it. Now, I want you to understand how to make your argument, which is why we went through it early to make sure everybody's concepts are right, so that when these things come up, you already had the answer.
And this can be all through
yes,
situations like a taxes